I'm going to quickly explain how indexing works for SEO and how you can implement it into your website automatically with a few different steps. And it doesn't matter if you've got a WordPress website or Shopify, we'll just go through the steps and options, right? But if you don't know what it is, basically, if you've got a new landing page or a blog post that you wrote, or maybe you updated an old blog post or something like that, you need to tell search engines that either the page exists or that it's been updated. And if you don't do that, it'll never appear in the search engine results page. So a lot of SEOs use tools or auto indexing tools to automatically submit these URLs to search engines like Google or Bing so that they can get discovered and rank a lot faster, right? And so you need to keep your sitemap and URL list updated all the time. And with these kind of tools, it makes sure that the search engines can use the crawl budget effectively. And it also sends a recency signal to search engines like Google to say that this page is fresh and relevant, so rank it higher, right? In a nutshell, right? It's a lot more complicated than that, but that's in a nutshell how it kind of works. So how can you actually implement this thing? Well, in the old days, or still now, you can do this, where you might go to your Google Search Console account, okay, assuming that you've already set up your sitemap and all that kind of stuff. If you don't know how, just Google it. And then from there, you would typically just use the inspect URL up here and then put in any URL in your website. Maybe it's a blog post that you just launched, and you put in the full URL and you just look for it or find it, and it usually says that it's not indexed. It'll say this is not indexed on Google, right? If it says that, then you have to just click this button down here that says request indexing, and that's how you kind of do it manually. But as you can see, or imagine, hundreds and thousands of pages can get quite tedious doing this process, especially if you've got an e-commerce store or whatever. So it makes absolutely no sense to do this manually. And so there are other tools out there. So with WordPress, you can use RankMath, and RankMath directly integrates into the API for instant indexing, which is really cool. How it works in the instant indexing panel just here, you can click on settings, and then RankMath will generate an API for you. And this API will be used with the instant indexing API so that whenever you've got a new page or update a page, it will send this to search engines. Okay, now, the issue with this that I have, and the reason I don't necessarily use it, is I like to get more data and understand if there's any problems with URLs so I don't have to find out, in here manually. So I use something called URL Monitor, okay? And it gives me a lot more instant, information on when it was last checked, when it was last crawled, whether or not there's canonical issues with HTTP or not, or anything around that, whether or not it's allowed to be indexed. I'm just reading off this, you can tell, right? But it just gives me any information if there's any problems. It tells me what's in progress, when it was last crawled, yada yada, all this kind of stuff, right? But it's so handy because anytime I make a change to a blog post or whatever, I can trust that this gets indexed every single day. And so this is a paid subscription. You don't need this, right? But I personally want it as an SEO so that I can keep track of all this kind of stuff to make sure I'm not taking any risks or chances with the indexation, because it's quite important to your, rankings in general. So the way that this works, once you sign up, you can sign up with your Google account, and the Google account has to be the same one you're using for your Google Search Console. It has to be the owner. Okay, and so as long as that's the case, you sign up to URL Monitor, and it will basically connect all of your websites connected to that Google account automatically. So it will, all of these are connected, okay, automatically. I don't have to connect them one by one. And then from there, all you have to do is go the accounts. So it says 10 out of 10 accounts enabled. So you click on that. Yours would be 0 out of 10 if you're just starting. But basically you click on that and it gives you a bunch of emails to invite you to Google Search Console account. And so each of these emails can crawl a maximum of 200 pages a day each. I don't need this many because my sitemap only has 240 pages. Okay, so I only need a maximum of 2 emails. So all you need to do is copy one, go over to your Google Search Console, go into your settings area, go into your users, click on add user, paste that in, click owner, add, and then done, right? And then you add one more. And then you're good to go, and then you can check the status, make sure they're active, and then every single day it will check all your pages, index pages, etc., and start doing this for you automatically. So it's very, very simple. With regards to RankMath on WordPress, all you need to do is go into your dashboard. Once you click on dashboard, you go to setup wizard, and then setup wizard, you go to the analytics pane here, You connect your Google account, the same one that's connected to your Google Search Console account, and then you go over to your sitemap area, make sure your sitemap is connected, and you're good to go. But the thing is, with RankMath, it automatically creates a sitemap, which is why I use RankMath. It's amazing. And then you just double check that it's installed inside of here. So where is it? Sitemap's there, and this is the RankMath generated sitemap. Basically, it connects really well with URL Monitor. So that's everything. Okay, so that's all you need to know in terms of indexation. It goes a lot deeper than that when you're talking crawl budgets and stuff, but like this isn't what this video is about. So anyway, I hope that helped. If you've got any questions, leave them below. More than happy to answer them. And I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.